here at Luhty Botanical Garden this afternoon, and we're looking at witch hazels. We have quite a few different witch hazels in our collection here at the garden. Witch hazels are beautiful additions to a garden because they bloom in very early in the spring or very late in the fall. So they extend bloom in your garden out into the extremes. This is an Arnold Promise witch hazel, and it blooms early spring. So it started blooming in mid-February, and it's going to bloom through the vernal equinox here. So it's the Arnold Promise gets about 15 to 20 foot in height. It's a great small ornamental tree, or you can keep it almost like a big shrub as well. But it's because it is so special about the time that it blooms. It's a great tree to place maybe by a back door or next to a garage, someplace that you would frequent at this time of year. You don't want to let it sit way out away from the house. You want to really be able to appreciate it. And it has these little beautiful spidery-like blooms, little petals that hang down. And it's unique in the fact that if it starts to get cold, those little petals will fold up, and it protects itself in some manner. And in addition, the witch hazel has a really cool seed dispersal mechanism. It's got a propulsive mechanism. When the seed capsule dries up to a point, it just shoots the seed out, and it's really sort of cool to see. And if you touch it at the right time, the capsules will just explode and shoot the seeds out. Because it flowers very early, we do have some pollinators at work, and this fits that niche. I've seen some moths and some different things recently, and so it does help with pollinator activity as well. And there's a number of varieties out there. We're going to look at a carmine red here next. This is a carmine red witch hazel, so it's got a beautiful burgundy flower, and it has a similar growth pattern, 15 to 20 in height and width. It's very similar to the Arnold Promise, but it's just got a red flower. There's a whole lot of different witch hazels out there. There's another one that blooms in the spring, a vernal witch hazel, and it's usually more shrub-like. It's 8 to 12 in that range, equal width, equal spread, and it blooms around the vernal equinox. It's blooming right now. As temperatures have changed and climate fluctuates a little bit, a lot of those bloom times, those traditional bloom times, are changing a bit. But the vernal equinox, a lot of times they'll actually flower. You'll have them flowering in January, as early as January. So like I said, there's some really cool flowering niches that you can fill in your garden. The native witch hazel here in central Illinois is the common witch hazel, and it blooms in October and November. So it's one of the last things that'll bloom in your garden as you approach winter. So it is a really beautiful tree. You'll see it in the woodland understory around here. There's some I think I've seen them in Forest Park up on the sides of the hillsides. And like I said, October, November, and a lot of times they have gold foliage. They have a beautiful golden fall color, and the foliage is on the tree when it's in bloom. And then when the foliage finally drops, then you get to see the bloom, and it's just amazing. If you're unfamiliar with where we're at, Luhty Botanical Garden is located at the corner of Prospect and Gift, just north of the Peoria Zoo. We're open 10 to 5 every day, and come visit us.